Hello and welcome to the best mods for Xbox PC, where we will be looking at some of the best mods to check out each and every single day, or at least that's the aim. There'll be something here for everyone, definitely worth checking out. Use the chapters where you need them. If you do get anything out of this, consider liking, subscribing. It goes a really long way. Appreciate your time. Let's get into it.
I'm very excited to introduce one of the most important mods in my mind to come to Starfield in recent times. This is one of the mods that many of us have always thought about was required and needed in Starfield that is going to completely change the game over time. Probably make a video covering this mod as an individual showcase as it's that important for the community, but this mod is called Starfield Fleet Expansion, and there is a supporting mod we'll look at very soon. And this project/framework is being done by two legends, which I can't seem to find the name of, but we'll put it in the comments once I've figured it out. But this mod is a huge one for us all. The aim of this mod is to add many custom ships from Reddit or from the community of Starfield and inject them into the game where they be purchasable. And not only will you be able to purchase these, but these are going to be added to ship encounters that you're going to come across in space. How insane is that? This is one of the mods I've been waiting for, because this is one of the most important mods, because over time this is going to add hundreds and hundreds. At least this framework will, and this mod is intended to do just that as well. Now currently there is about 20 ships included in the mod that will be able to be purchased and found at encounters in space. Do note that the ships have been made that they sort of fit in with the different factions. So you'll find some at different technicians throughout the universe. So keep that in mind. You will have to sort of shop around to find them, purchase them. So a lot of intention here is to try integrate them to make them a bit more lore friendly and to fit in with the actual Starfield universe. You're going to find a mixture of ships that are going to be glitch ships or just your standard normal ships. So a bit of everything is going to be included in this, which is really nice to see. It's going to be all kinds of crazy builds from the community. And this is just such a huge win. Basically getting unlimited ships possibly added to Starfield over time. All the hard work has been done from all the different builders. So why not have every single ship encounter in space a completely unique ship that you've never ever seen? That's where I hope this goes, because that is just going to make this infinitely always entertaining, because there would never be a same ship that you'll see this, more than twice. Over time, I believe that's how it's going to work out to be. We're going to cover this mod in a lot more detail in another video. We're just touching on it in this, but this is such a big win for us all, and that is the Starfield Fleet Expansion mod. Now, this mod would not be possible without the framework that is built behind it. So the Fleet mod is completely dependent on the ship vendor framework. Now, this is such a pivotal, huge win for us all, and this is by Rux616. This legend developed the framework to be able to build and add ships to your technician without having to start a new game, without having to do all kinds of nonsense. So we have to give a huge thank in part to Rux for this, because this is just unreal. So keep in mind, you will need the ship vendor framework to get the Starfield ship expansion working. And again, we'll cover this in more detail, but let's keep moving on. Here we have the teleport ring by LBGSHI. This is an incredibly handy mod, allowing you to teleport many locations at a click of a button, allowing you to skip so many loading screens with the click of a button. So for instance, let's go to the Aquila City player's home. We're going to select that. We can also just select it here in the quick slot if we wanted to. Hit exit. Then we're going to go to quick select, click it. And upon clicking, you'll notice this crazy door appears at the bottom of your feet. All we have to do is go activate. And this is going to take us directly to that location. Isn't that crazy? So this is so handy. This has so many locations as well. So a huge thanks for porting this over to PC, because this originally was only on Xbox. But such a huge time-saving functionality, especially being able to teleport straight to the houses without even having to own them. So for me, this is an excellent utility mod, and it just has so many of the very important locations to travel to throughout the story of Starfield. I mean, look, we can teleport to the 920, the Eye, the Key, Red Mile. Extremely remarkable mod. This is a mod that I'll pretty much have installed all the time. You might find it very useful as well. And there is one other thing that this horrific mod can do is if you drop this TRC test down, this is going to lead you to this giant room. Now, what this room can be used for is you can use this room like a Stargate to all the different areas by just setting them all down in this room. So you can just come to this one location and never have to place them down. So this is a really cool room to set up where you can just quick travel to so many locations instantly, no loading screens. You can just leave these everywhere and they're going to stay there. If you want to destroy them, that's how you pretty much delete them. If we wanted to delete this one, we'll just shoot it and bing, bada, boom. Once we shoot it, it is gone. If we shoot it a couple times, they'll disappear. Such a remarkable mod. I cannot recommend this one on more highly. And this is the teleporting rings by LBGSHI, instantly teleporting you across the universe with a few clicks of a button, and also allowing you to make a teleport room. Possibilities and time-saving mechanism from this mod cannot be understated. And also, don't forget, this can be used on your ship. These can be used anywhere. Mind-blowing mod. Let's keep moving. Here we have the Enhanced Dream Home, a decoration mod. You will require the Dream Home trait to get this, or just get the house key mod that gives you all the different house keys so you can access this straight away, which we've covered before. This decoration is done by Nebula Squid, and you can already tell on the outside, looking very similar to some others, just with a few different changes, but looking very, very nice. We'll head straight inside, have a closer look. Entering the dream home, you'll be greeted with a very nicely decorated room. Particularly this one on the left is outstanding. Now, the theme of this in some part or in some rooms is very much cyberpunk, street rat kind of look and feel, and you can see little parts of Neon City like this sort of side, and many other aspects to this very lovely HQ room. Really is really nicely decorated, and just a neat little room you would want to hang out. Now, as we exit the room, we have the pretty much nicely designed sort of somewhat custom kitchen that comes with the pantry and an area where you can store stuff if you'd like to. Entering into the main room, which will have a huge projector. This house has plenty of artwork and lots of little details, which really brings it to life. And I really like this room just out here where we have, it's a bit of like a display room, including all the ship that you can get as displays, which is really fantastic to see, as well as display cases and the mech in the corner there. Very nice display room. Now we'll just duck over upstairs. That's just the toilet. We got a statue greeting you on your way up, but we also have to acknowledge this glorious dragon, which is from the Ryujin Tower, as well as many of the artwork of the fractured glass or fractal glass. We'll head up and you'll have another bathroom and an excellently designed gym room. What would be crazy is to have like a GTA kind of mod where you can get buff or increase your character's strength and appearance through getting bulk or eating and all that kind of stuff. That would be insanely cool to see. We also have the engineering room, which has all the different workbenches that you require seamlessly pretty much integrated into segregated areas, and also offering weapon mount. Exiting that room, we'll have the main study office and have a very nice tone lighting area of effect with this one, really becoming more like an office or waiting room with this little fish in the glass. I'm not sure if I've seen that before or noted it whipping around. We have some excellent lighting, photos, statues, really nicely well decorated room. Checking out the last room, we have a really nicely decorated room with plenty of artwork, features, many little details, and just a really nicely simple decorated room. Overall, a very nice rendition of the dream home, adding lots of decorations, engineering room, display room, plenty of artwork. Do keep in mind you can continue to decorate this yourself, so it is completely customizable. Do note many of the objects are static, but another cool mod to add to the ever-growing housing mods. Let's keep going. Here we have the terrifying Terrormorphs by Recon 1796. Now this mod makes your Terrormorphs insanely brutal. Now there are other mods like this, but currently not on Nexus, particularly the Royal Terrormorph. But this particular mod adds a lot to the encounters of Terrormorphs. One of the terrifying traits of this mod is that the Terrormorph get really good at following you and hunting you down. They're faster, stronger, have more health, and what's really startling is that they can now open doors. So if we walk into this area thinking we are safe, well, think again, because they're going to be able to open the door and chase you where there will be no escape. It also slightly increases the range of their melee attacks. It also increases the hit core of their melee attacks. So previously their hit cores were much smaller. Effectively, dodge and cheesing them was very easy. Now it is much harder. They even have a bit more health regeneration. Their levels are increased. There's a variation in size also introduced. I mean, this mod just really makes the Terrormorph terrifying. So when you come across them, they are going to be brutal enemies. And they have these crazy ranged attacks, so you'll never be able to really escape them. And they're just overall a brutal experience. So it's a really terrific and fun way to have a unique experience with your Terrormorphs. And just being able to run away will not keep you safe. Look, I've run over and jumped over this building. Let's see how long it takes for them to figure out how to get here. And within seconds, they've just popped out of the ground and they're on me. So it really does feel like a horrifying experience and there's just no escaping. We'll keep moving. Weapons display enhanced by Wind Attic adds a multitude of new ways to display your weapons, which can be built on your ship or at an outpost. This is a really fantastic little decorator mod because it just gives so much more flexibility and optionality of how you can display your weapons, including display cases that look like this, which you can see will display the weapons differently. I'll just give you an example because there's multiple tables, but they will display the weapons differently. And my favorite of all is the tilted weapon display case, which also gives you option to have them tilted right or tilted left. So how do they work? So for these tables, for instance, let's just try transfer a few weapons. You're just going to throw a few down. So it's going to be able to take 4 per table, and depending on which one you built will depend on the direction that the guns face. The weapons display tilted left is phenomenal for those wanting to show off their weapons. If you, depending on the option, you can get them tilted in the different directions. But how cool is this? I really like this mod for showing off your weapons. You can also attach some of your weapons to the suits, to the spacesuit mount with this, which is terrific. So I could just put a sniper rifle or a weapon sitting on it. How cool is that? There's also these tiny little weapon mounts which are perfect because they can basically look like they're attached to the wall without even seeing any kind of display at all. So I really like this. This means you'll be able to stack them perfectly on a wall and it's going to look amazing just because you won't actually see anything behind them. That's a quick overview of the weapon display enhanced. However, there is also the item display enhanced, which offers the same functionality but for items, and you have a few different ways you can play them with these awesome looking shelves. So they have as well as a hat hanger, which is pretty neat, so you can actually hang your hats up. But giving you an example, we can transfer so many different things to this. So basically any item or thing we would want, we could just drop it in there, noting that there's only a few items that you won't be able to store. But look at this, how cool is that? We can get all these different items displayed, including an alien egg, you know, any kind of aid item that you could think of. This gives so much flexibility. You can even put your suits on there. You know, there are some clipping on different items, but you get the idea. This really gives a huge amount of flexibility to what you can and cannot put on display. So 2 fantastic decorator mods, both from Wind Addict. And this last one was the item display enhanced. Let's keep moving. Here we have the no skill research mod by Nisi Sweeney Get. Probably murdered that. This mod is perfect for someone jumping into a new universe and just wants to do certain things and get all the different researches very quickly without having to have any relationship with the perks. So you can see here the required skills. It basically would just put all of it as none, so you can straight away go in and get the research. Now you'll still need to get all the resources for it. However, they're not going to be perk dependent, which can really speed up certain processes depending what you're trying to do, or if you just want to get everything researched very quickly, this is a really nice way of doing it. What I'd love is a switch that we could just press once and then it instantly gives us all the research and everything complete. That'd be fantastic. But this is a very close step and you will find this extremely handy, saving a ton of time, not having to worry about perk, just being able to go in there and get all the bits and pieces you need. Now, if you combine this with some of the mods that gives you all the resources as well, you can see how coupling this with another mod will make this whole process very quick. You can pretty much just stay in one location, get everything researched, and then be on your way. So the cool thing with this mod is that it does not touch any of the perk systems or anything. It just simply bypasses the research requirement. So this should not impact many mods and allow other perk mods to function just as normal. Do keep in mind though that mods that add additional research items will not be impacted by this mod. You'll still have to have the perk required for that. Really nice little mod. Let's keep moving. This next mod I wish I discovered so much sooner. Many of us have been asking for a filter on their industrial workbench, particularly once you've had so many different mods added. Now we have such functionality. This is all thanks to Exo Warlock 313, which gives us the workbench filter framework, keyword framework. This is another framework design mod, which I hope other mod creators can also be aware of and start using as well, so we can have a very nice, easy way to access all the different things and mods coming. So this is how it will work. So you go to your industrial workbench, you'll see you'll have 2 options, use and next filter. So we're going to go next filter, and this is going to bring up a filter menu where we can pinpoint the very specific thing we want to try craft. This reduces the clutter in the menus tenfold. So for instance, if I just want to look at the melee weapons, we're going to go melee weapons. We've selected that from the filter. Then we need to go and access the workbench again, just like normal. In theory, only have the various melee weapons. For that to happen, we need mod creators to be aware of this framework and include it within their own mod, so we get things started to list correctly. At least that's my understanding. But you can see how terrific this will be over time. Being able to have a category filter within the workbench, particularly useful for something like weapons or apparel. Most profound will be apparel for sure. However, we will require this to be circulated and understood by other mod creators to implement this. A really handy category with the select filter is the mod config item. This is terrific because it's going to put all the modded items into a category of itself. Makes it much quicker to find things as it's going to filter out a lot of the other stuff. The only other thing I could think of that it might need is just like a reset to default or a default setting, just in case you do want to flick it back to have everything listed, which we might be able to do currently. Not 100% sure on that. The other mod I highly recommend to get along with this is also by Exo Warlock 313, which is the vanilla recipes patch. This is basically a patch that's going to put all the vanilla recipes into the applicable filter category. So for instance, let's go components and resources. We'll go into craft components and resources, and this will contain the vanilla recipes. However, since I do have those other mods, it does seem to be interfering with the filter, but at least this gives you an idea or insight to how this will work. Definitely some mods we need to keep our eyes on, because in the future, this could be really pivotal to managing this crazy nightmare of the workbench, particularly when we can get more than the current cap on mods. While we're looking at the workbench and all the fantastic work done by Exo Warlock, we have to check out the environmental seal. So the environmental seal is another way you can basically turn all your clothing items into spacesuits, as well as increase all your different spacesuits' resistance to the thermal, airborne, corrosive, and radiation. For instance, let's take the War Dog spacesuit, which has 0 corrosive properties or protection. We're going to equip that, but at the same time, we're also going to go in and equip the environmental seal, which is craftable at your workbench. And you can see instantly we can have both of these equipped, as the environmental seal does not count to wearing an actual item of clothing. However, it does count towards your thermal, corrosive, radiation, and airborne stats, basically being able to stack these properties. And it doesn't just stop there. We can go into the spacesuit workbench, navigate to the environmental seal, and here we can actually specialize if we want to increase its resistance to airborne, corrosive, or increase our mobility, radiation, thermal. So you can see here, as we look at these, you can get the different properties increased, which could be perfect for suits where you have already really good stats on everything else except for, say, corrosive. So you just really want to bump that up. So this gives you the ultimate way of balancing your protection against all the different elements. Not only that, you can go into design and then customize it further by tweaking 2 properties at a time, depending on what you're after, offering more enhancement to your overall protection against the environments. Finally, we can increase its overall potency. So you can just make everything max protection against all different environments. Just go in prototype seal system. Boom. You can then apply that to any clothing or spacesuit, giving you the ultimate flexibility. You can see how coupling this with TN's textile perk restored clothing system overhaul mod would then really help enhance your clothing aspect. Now, I think you can stack the environmental seal as well. Looks like you can have multiple selected. So let's test this out. Let's find a suit that has no thermal. So the Deep Seeker spacesuit will unequip the environmental seals. We have a helmet on that doesn't give thermal, and we'll put on a jetpack that also doesn't help with the thermal. And you can see here we are getting affected by the various element, extreme ambient cold. So now if we throw on the environmental seal, let's say the one we've upgraded, we've got that applied. That's going to overlap on top of our spacesuit, and then be able to walk around, and boom, there you go. We no longer have any issues. We're happy. All the different elements are not affecting us no longer, other than what we've already got hit with. We go to our character, we can see that the damage resistance, the environmental resistance have stacked, giving us a huge range of flexibility when using our suits. But you can see how potent this can be. It just allows you to have any kind of spacesuit you want. Then you can customize its potency at protecting you against the different environments. Really, really handy mod. This is the environmental seal by Exo Warlock. All those mods I highly recommend to check out or keep an eye on, all done by Exo Warlock. Let's keep going. Here we have an epic anime spacesuit mod that adds an insanely cool character from an anime I haven't seen that I'm going to definitely check out very, very soon. And this is the Guyver Spacesuit by Captain SSA. This is an incredibly well detailed spacesuit. You can have all the different colors you could possibly want. And unlike all the other girly characters, this one looks insanely crazy looking with red eyes, big guns, and overall just crazy looking alien, which is straight out of an old anime from the 1990s, which the 1980s and 90s had some of the best anime ever. So looking forward to checking that out. So not only do you get this really good armor with remarkably potent stats, it also comes with a weapon, which both of the suit and weapon can be crafted from your workbench. Plays up in how it looks, but you have good physical damage. And this is a melee weapon that goes alongside your actual suit. So you can actually apply this to different suits as well, but it looks best when attached to its designed Guyver Spacesuit. But how unreal is this? So we can use this now as a weapon. The spacesuit itself is a weapon. So for example, here we go. We can just go around and start absolutely annihilating people. The good thing about this is that it's a really strong melee weapon, and this is actually something you could go around and wear and use quite easily. Very, very different to other spacesuits we've seen. It offers so many benefits in terms of just having melee and a crazy good spacesuit. The only unfortunate thing is that you can't have a weapon and the melee weapon attached at the same time. It would be kind of incredible. It would be incredible to have the melee weapon selected and be able to use that as our bash, and then also have a weapon, making it like the ultimate spacesuit melee weapon combination. But this is by far one of the best implementations of an anime character into Starfield. So huge props to Captain for this. And this is the Guyver Spacesuit. Unreal weapon suit combo. Great stats. Lots of fun to use and looks insanely terrific. Do note you'll find all of this stuff in the lodge in a trunk once you've downloaded it, just in the basement where all your workbenches are. Really nice mod. Let's keep moving. This next mod is going to sort out a lot of problems for many people. Now, I don't know if you've ever had a bug outpost where whenever you try to quick travel it or edit it or even edit any of the changes, it just nukes your PC and the game crashes. Well, this mod is going to allow you to reset your outpost basically by not having to load into the outpost to be able to delete all the items. This is kind of like a last resort kind of mod. If you want to keep your outpost area location but can't seem to access it for whatever reason, we can use this mod to delete everything. So how does this mod work? Well, you want to go in and craft the nuke it from orbit from your workbench. What we're going to do is we're going to head to the orbit of the planet where I just built my outpost. So what we'll do is we'll head to space, we'd go into our inventory. So now that we're in orbit of the planet where our outpost is, we're going to select the nuke it from space. Just clicking it, it's going to do a search for outpost. And once we exit, and then if we head over to our outpost, so from my testing, I haven't been able to get it to work from space, but I'll just give you what it looks like when we use it from ground. So you just use it in your quick select and you can just nuke it and it's just going to delete everything from the outpost. Now, theoretically, this is meant to work from orbit. I haven't figured out the steps to get it to work. However, do note, this is not on Xbox yet. Originally it was, but it's not working. So it's back to the drawing board, but in time, you will see this come to Xbox. So stay tuned. This may fix one of your issues with your outpost. Could be a complete game changer for many people. This is called the Dioger's Nuke It From Orbit button. This is by TH Nighthawk. Fantastic utility mod. Let's keep moving. This is a pretty interesting weapon mod. We're going to head to the wolf system, to the den. And in the den, we're going to have a new merchant that's going to be able to sell us some awesome melee weapon. This is the melee weapon pack by 510 Deshawn, adding some epic classic melee weapons from a variety of different areas, including the Quantum Edge Energy Sword, which we all know where that is from, as well as some really fun, unique stuff. But here we have a bat with nails, the Vibro, Slayer, so many cool, unique looking melee weapons. The weapons themselves are very well detailed and look pretty darn good. The other nice thing is they offer relatively good physical damage as well, making these extremely viable options to use. This would definitely be one of the mods that is going to make for the melee only Starfield experience. All we need now is a mod that can somehow inject all the different weapons to NPCs. What I'd love to see is all the different lightsabers, melee weapons given to all the different NPCs for the perfect melee only Starfield experience. Pretty unreal. Now, when it comes to the animations and use of the melee weapons, it is just the generic melee weapon experience where you just be slashing, blocking. But the cool thing is that the range for some of these melee weapons is much more realistic. It certainly feels like a new weapon and adds a lot more color and vibrance to the whole melee experience. And I really appreciate how some of them do so much damage. Particularly, we have the Slayer with doing over 400 physical damage. the baseball bat doing a lot less, but still a lot of fun just to be able to muck around with. Definitely gives a little bit of the Suicide Squad kind of feel, or even a GTA experience with the bat. The Vibro sword, the Slayer. The swords are particularly nice, giving extra range and just feeling a lot more better than even some of the other weapons you find within the system. But great to see so many new additions to the melee weapons. And I like that you can purchase these from its very own merchant. Really handy and nice to see something like that. Let's get moving. We are heading to Naira and we're looking for Kazal. And on Kazal, we're going to find, then we're going to go to the sulfur mine. And here we're going to find Inquisitor's Special Forces Mountain Apartment / base by Inquisitor. This is his first sort of home mod, so it's really nice to see that it's branched out. So let's go check this place out. So this is a pretty cool location and something a little bit different. You can see some unusual structures and objects around here. You'll find fauna, creatures, and it's sort of nestled in right next to another point of interest. However, this mod is going to take us into this little area here, right at the back of your landing. So we're going to head up to the stairs and then jump up to the roof here. And then here, we're just going to enter. So the idea behind this is that this is to go along with Inquisitor's other mods, the Special Forces weapon technologies, Special Forces background and traits, and the uniform add-ons. It adds to the overall lore and experience of those mods, giving you a base of operation to go along with. The property is very minimally decorated with some static options, with some static objects throughout the build. However, I really like the addition of this display area here. You know what would be cool is to have some kind of creature in here just to mix it up and make this a very unique experience. Having the bare bones decoration means that you'll be able to decorate this place yourself. However, it does come with kitchen, fridges, everything you would expect for the kitchen kind of area, as well as some really nice rooms that have some decoration already added, including the bed, a few little bits and pieces. You'll have an area for most likely the bathroom there, and then another bedroom. Another neat little gift about this property is that it comes with a ton of different stuff in this Special Forces home chest. Opening that, you'll get a ton of ammo, weapons, Ashtar, credits, a whole bunch of a little few goodies. So some nice, easy little freebies, as well as you'll have access to this spacesuit here. It's cool. I'd like to see more decorated houses with mannequins and the suits already attached. I like this idea. It's nice to see that. You do have another big room here and an elevator, which would be interesting to see if this will ever get changed to incorporate something else. But a nice little space to call home and to add to your other Special Force mods that Inquisitor's done. Great job for your first home, Inquisitor, and let's keep moving. One quick thing, I did have trouble accessing the decorator for this. Might just be me, but do note you may get an update shortly. Could be a conflict of mods that I have, but yeah, just something to note. Otherwise, terrific. Let's keep moving. Thank you very much for watching. If you get anything out of this, consider liking, subscribing, commenting. Let me know what you think about some of these mods. You can let me know what mods you'd like me to cover, or if there's anything on your mind, just drop it in the comment. Thanks again, and peace.